agree with you. He does irresponsible things, but if you look at the whole package, I'd rather someone that does irresponsible things but also good than a square. So, yeah, I mean, it would be great.
You kind of put the target on the people, and I think it was a wrong message altogether.
I'm just saying that it's the whole package.
They always agree with me.
I mean, if it were not for those stupid things he says, then he would be predictable. That is exactly what makes him very unpredictable. The fact that he's just being stupid or not.
I agree, but it wasn't about the IRGC state. It was about the Iranian people, and they actually imagine you are told tonight you need to leave your house with your children. You have nowhere to go, and there were millions in the highways, in huge traffic. Millions were living.
Okay, so he caused a little bit of anxiety. Forgive him.
So I'm just saying it was irresponsible, but other than this, yes, we can't criticize. It's okay.
All right, Buttercup. Does anything come to make you happy?
What are you talking
about? The one thing you can complain about. Daniel.
I don't know, he said Buttercup, but I didn't understand what he said after.
I was only hearing maybe a little Buttercup.
Oh. Never do this, Jeff. I never insulted you like this.
I love Daniel's new PTR. So cute.
I get it.
You're a toilet paper, Daniel.
I'm a sheep.
No, I didn't realize what that was.
Yeah, it's a toilet paper. He made those.
I make it this how my toilet paper is in my toilet. This one is a sheet that I created.
He's got a bunch of sheep looking at him when he's pooping.
I brought 30 like this to Israel, but the toilet paper here is different than in Berlin, so I need to basically do it in a different size.
Oh, it has a different roll size? Like the same?
Yes, I was living in the United States, and I think one of the first things that I noticed when I came back to Israel is the toilet paper is different.
I thought that was universal.
No. It has more girth here, which means less paper.
Dude, I love Trump. I really like what he's doing with everything, and I think he's so fucking brilliant.
Does he make you horny?
Yeah, he does. I've always said that he's hot. And I think the same of Netanyahu and Putin as well. Whether you love him or hate him, Putin is also a very good strategist. These guys are smart, and I am so happy to live in this time. No.
I Chinese premiere porn.
What about Yasser Arafat?
No.
Fun.
No, I truly feel that these three guys are super attractive. I am sapiosexual, so where I see competence and determination and strategy in a man, it's just wow. That's, to me, it's really hot. It doesn't matter what you look like. You're just.
So you like the Jews?
Huh? The what?
So you like the Jews?
Yeah, that's the reason why I always say that Mossad is super hot, and the IDF as well. It's that kind of thinking and intelligence is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, but have you ever dated a Jewish guy before?
Yeah, but for a short time in Guatemala. I was probably in my not early 20s. It was before coming to Europe. It was early 20s. It was probably 24 or something like that. It was just for a couple of months. It was more like a good friend of mine. that I didn't understand shit about Judaism. And honestly, I wasn't even aware of anything. I was just like, this is so
this statement real quick because go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm very much looking forward to see what happens. This is so fucking exciting. I don't know. I just hope that the Democrats really stay away from power for a couple of decades, so that all of these could be really cemented, you know, in the minds of the people, and there's this kind of like free market, individual rights and stuff gets really cemented in the minds of people in the new generation, so that because if the next president is going to be a Democrat, all of this is going to go to shit again. There has to be some time where all of this kind of like settles before any other crazy people taking over.
Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck with that. I think you're going to be disappointed.
I hope not. Oh my god, and Marco Rubio is also super hot. Like, it's one of the most impressive guys in this administration.
He really is doing an amazing job.
Yeah. He should be Secretary of State forever.
No, he should be president.
No, I think he's more useful as the Secretary of State.
No, he needs to be president.
Happy
He
Easter!
wants to be president.
Happy
He's
Easter!
He's not.
My good friend Abby, your English is coming along so good. Your English skills are getting so good.
He's going to support JD's candidacy.
Yeah, that's fine. He said that, but he needs to run. He needs to be president. And J.D. Vance needs to be out of government.
J.D. Vance?
My God, I hate JD.
Yeah, what do you think is J.D. Vance? Because he's a fucking retard and an anti-Semite.
How is he an anti-Semite?
I've already covered this with you. They're really going to start calling you Dory.
Well, when
I
you
don't
cover
think he's
this,
automatically an anti-Semite just because he says that anti-Semitism is not a big problem.
oh, because of that, dude, you threw out the anti-Semitism tag way too.
Really? Who else in politics elected who I call an anti-Semite? Don't gaslight the room about me. There's literally no one else in the elected office I call an anti-Semite. Not one.
I don't think that that. Sorry, what?
I have my volume off. Who do you call an anti-Semite?
JD
Vance.
I'm not sure. I know why you call him an anti-Semite. It definitely looks like it, but I think he's such a political weasel and just blows up the wind. I'm not sure if I can ever figure out what he really believes.
What religion is his wife? Is she a Hindu?
Hindu.
Yeah, she's a Hindu. And I'm fine with him hoping that she converts to Catholicism. I don't find that strange at all.
Well, didn't he marry her before he converted?
Well, he was Christian. He was a Protestant, and he converted to Catholicism after he was married.
Fine, so he wasn't so religious. He was Protestant. He didn't really care. And then when he
And
started
also
caring,
Tom
he divorced his wife. Fine, but then he didn't divorce his wife after he started caring. That makes sense.
I don't know that he was irreligious as a Protestant, though. He was just a Protestant. I think he was religious then.
Well, he definitely wasn't religious enough
Yeah,
to make
top
sure
answer,
that.
but being a Protestant is like,
Yeah, but he wasn't religious enough to care what a religious wife was.
Apparently.
push it with him. He's afraid.
Does using the word faggot make you a homophobe?
And if
Yes.
here's the problem.
But I did offer to be bought for a blowjob earlier today, so probably not so much.
The problem with him is he's afraid to push away the gripers because he wants his quote-unquote big tent and more likely put his finger on the one and try to see what the party does. But he's pushing away all the people that joined, all the Latinos that joined, all the black people that joined. The Republican tent has gotten very large. And for these like in the basement people who actually propose voting for Kamala Harris because they're anarchists, he's giving up a much more important coalition. So call him what you want. He's not doing the Republican Party any favors by allowing the Civil War to fester.
Yeah, that's right. And these names are Semites. And he's also disloyal to Trump at the end of the day.
Was anyone trying? Sorry.
No, we do move it all the time. He's not loyal to anyone. He's a political weasel. He was a never Trumper until he became a MAGA, and then he'll switch again.
But so was Marco Rubio.
In a very different way. Marco Rubio had both principled disagreements with Trump. Came around when the party switched, and he did it as a majority of this coalition. Here's where I disagree. Here's where I do agree. And when he does his job, he does it within his own philosophy. And he did the job in the administration. That is the Republican Party. The Republican Party is a coalition party. You don't have to agree with everything your boss does. Vance did it as an EP, which is different. He never admitted what changed. He never said I really actually that's where the party is, which would be fine. He just floats around. If he was a Democrat, you'd be making fun of him in the exact same way I am.
I still like him. I think he would be a good president. I think he comes across as strong and determined, and I think that, well, I mean, the president is never the only one making the decisions. Like Trump, of course, has an amazing team around him. But if JD would be president, he would have the presence, and he would surround himself as well by a lot of people, potentially also Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is going to be in the government until he dies.
JD Vance is extremely intelligent. He's a very accomplished politician. He's going to go far. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's not a respectable person. I respect Bernie Sanders more than I respect him. The guy's stuck on principle.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. He had his idea. It was terrible to destroy America. He stuck with it. He didn't care when he was in total political isolation, independent from a state that nobody even remembered existed. He was the same guy when it became stronger. He ran up against Hillary Clinton and nearly won. It was cheated because he stuck with his idea from beginning to end. He never changed. JD Vance takes a poll every morning, looks at where the party is, and that becomes his position. Right now, in a populist moment, so he's the hillbilly elegy. Guarantee you, as soon as if this country would say we like elitists, he'd be telling everyone that he's the evil guy. That's what he is. He's we've seen multiples of these politicians in the past.
He's a right-wing leftist. He's really not different than Mamdani. A really great speaker, looks good in the suit, and will lie to your face but do it in a very charismatic way. He's Republican Mamdani.
His entire speech at the convention, the opening speech, "Here who I am," said, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help. The government failed my mom and I'm going to come help you." The only difference between Mamdani and JD Vance is Mamdani wants the government to help cat ladies and he wants the government to help working moms. That's it. And both government interventionists, big government people.
Wow, I didn't know that you guys thought like this, JD.
Speaking of Mamdani, the New York Post today said that He wants to install bidets at the Christian mansion.
That's a wire dick,
Mamdani.
but I understand why you got confused.
Why do you call him Mandani?
Mamdafi.
Yeah, he said he wants to install bidets at Christian mansion.
What?
Huh?
You know, bidets. It's kind of like a toilet, but backwards.
I don't understand that. Okay.
He wants to install bidets in Gracie Mansion.
Oh,
Correct.
and how? Okay.
I'm not sure this is actual news or if they were just trolling. And in either case, it really is irrelevant. It doesn't add anything to the conversation.
So, if Trump said that help is on its way, when do you think it will happen? Right?
Expected
Because yesterday,
sometime.
the Pentagon presented him with options, and I can assume that he selected an option and then tweeted that help is on its way. And I'm just wondering, when will this happen?
Have they been mobilizing some, how do you say these big ships that they have parked around Yemen and all these places?
Not warship,
Yeah.
carrier,
Yeah, the carriers.
The armadas. Where are those armadas?
They are not close yet. And if they are moved, then they will be noticed. And also to move the bombers, it will be noticed. But they have it will either be like a targeted, like against the leaders of the regime, if they have like eyes on them, or against some kind of a command center or like a siege building or something like this. I don't think it would be like a major strike.
Didn't Iran try to sink the USS Cole by using like a small boat?
That was Al-Qaeda.
Sorry, I couldn't participate. I was nervous.
And I know that in Israel they are preparing for that option of like an attack.
Yeah, Israel said that they were going in as well. They were supporting Trump.
Yeah, well, we are kind of keeping quiet. It's just more like preparing and being in sync with the Americans. But also, once they prepare to launch, we know that. So we will get like a head notice before the alarm that there's a preparation. Now that they fuel up the rocket or they put the launchers out or stuff like this, we see this in advance.
You guys
Also, it takes time for them.
You guys are like an angry cock, like the male chicken, you know, like just waiting for someone to tell you, let's go for it.
Rooster is.
No, actually, cookies is fine. I'm fine with cookies.
I said it's a rooster, not a cock.
A rooster, yeah, thank you. But cook is also the chicken.
Daniel, you're half right about Trump's meeting. He did select an option, but now they have to wait for Netanyahu to approve it.
I doubt it.
I saw that.
We all know the Jews run America.
I saw that President Trump today interview with the New York Times, and he said any anti-Semites are not allowed in the MAGA movement. He said, get out.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, but you cannot then call anti-Semites every single person that disagrees.
No, but most of them are anti-Semites. Maybe they don't know it. Maybe they don't hate Jews. But when you are filled with anti-Jewish propaganda, I don't hate Jews. My friends are Jewish. I just think the Jews control the world, the media, and are like
Listen.
Listen.
I think that everybody has the right to hate whoever they want, but you don't have the right to act and prevent someone from their rights. So I don't care if someone
I have a right
that they hate you with all their heart, but they don't have the right to go and impede you to do your rights, you know, and impeding your freedom and your
Everybody's talking about fucking rights. You got no fucking rights.
And when they're calling for violence for Jews, 100%, that should never be allowed.
Listen, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm truly sorry. I was just have to mention this one sentence. Have you guys heard the new numbers of how many Iranians have been killed in the last 48 hours by the regime? Yes, 12,000.
No,
Minimum 12,000.
American that is also down, Vegas. We all live in holes, and we certainly aren't talking about the most pressing matter the world has.
It's a 12,000. Minimum 12,000.
Yes, we already heard.
Yeah, we
When we
all
talk
live
about
there.
Palestine,
We're not breaking any news.
where was it because you tried to put Palestine all these 2 years?
We all read the article at Iran International. We're up to date, Vegas.
Why would they? The Free Palestine movement is about taking down the West, and Iran is helping them. So they will not. This is why they don't see Iran against Iran, because Iran follow their axis. It's not about human rights, or it's not about children dying or whatever. It's none of this. It's about destabilizing the West and taking down Israel.
One of the reasons why I think Iran is not going to work without boots on the ground is because they've been without any institution, democratic institutions for way too long. The difference to me with Venezuela is that Venezuela still has a generation that has a memory of institutionalized democracy and working democratic institutions. And they will have like a transitional.
The difference between revolutions is 10 years. And at the end of the day, you can think what you want to think. No one is putting 150,000 boots on the ground. Like, well, you can think.
Listen, Jeff, if it's not happening, it's going to be a quagmire. And I would really prefer it not to be. And,
Well,
you know,
be a quagmire.
and that's very unfortunate. Because you need at least one new generation that understands how those institutions work and is willing to uphold them. I mean, it's the same problem with Eastern Europe. When it was starting to fall down, they needed to impose like a very strict type of institutionalized democratic process, and that's why Poland has, it had an internal memory also, and it had basically a shadow government that was working along with Soviets. So their transition was much easier, and they have much better results than, let's say, like Czech Republic, for example.
We got pork in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, what I expect is the revolution hopefully will work, and if that works, I think you'll see some period of fragmentation of Iran, some level of lack of stability, and in 10 years we may get back to a stable region there. But it's the price that has to be paid in order to get to progress and to get to stability in the region.
I mean, what I'm afraid of, Jeff, and that's obviously the worst case scenarios I'm looking at, is the power vacuum that is filled by Iran's neighbors, and then their regimes are installed, but because Iranians will be looked at as a second-rate citizens, is basically going to be like, the good old 17th, 18th century colonization, or the internal, since there's no memory of the internal democratic institutions, like the new power, whoever it is going to come in and do the same kind of shit, just under a different flag as the theocracy.
I take issue with your basic foundational assumption that there's no memory. You're talking about revolutions that are literally, I just double checked, 20 years apart. The folks who were free in Iran are in their 60s and 70s, but they're still there. They still taught their children what Iran used to be. I mean, all you have to do is talk to any Iranian, not even in Iran. These people are brought up with they know that history, all of them, so much better than any of us do from wherever our parents came from. This assumption they don't know democratic institutions. Fine, guess what? They might not be a democracy. democracy, and that's okay. Like it's okay. They might not be a democracy. They might have some other form of government that works for them until they choose democracy. The important thing is to get rid of these evil animals. Then we can move forward from there.
Yeah, I'm just a bit, given the historical precedent, I'm a little bit pessimistic if the United States or Israel not take over that region and install some sort of controlled environment.
I mean, they're not Arabs. And that's the only thing I can say. They're not Arabs. They won't accept an installed leader. Like, you can't think of them like they're Arabs.
I got you. I mean, I'm not talking about installed leader per se. I'm talking about the infrastructure that is controlled by somebody else who is kind of teaching the institution to the population. I mean, they do have, like, I absolutely grant you, they do have intention, the motivation to transition. But, they do not have a place.
That the United States and Israel will assist with.
Because they never had democracy in the region, and democracy is a contingent on the.
They may not want democracy, Andre. Why
Stop fucking Western.
If they choose democracy, the United States and Israel will be there to help them institute it. What will not happen is 250,000 boots on the ground to direct traffic and force democracy down their throats. But if they're ready to build institutions and need help writing a constitution, the United States will be there. If they want to try to build waterworks, so Tehran's not on the place of which route they have to talk about moving the capital, Israel will be there to help them deal with it. So that help will be there. That's a very, very big difference in Iraq.
It's nothing like Iraq or Afghanistan or any other thing.
Because I'm not fucking Arab.
Choose democracy, but that's a guess. We'll see. I think
so too.
I think it'll be like a constitutional democracy. I think it's going to have the institution of a king. They had that for thousands of years. They're not the United States, but I think there will be ultimately a level of democracy.
That's what I was thinking. Some sort of like constitutional monarchy or something like that.
How many religious minorities do they have in Iran?
Half the country is minorities. The lowest 50% of the country is Persian.
Okay, so they have ethnic division. They have religious.
They don't have ethnic division. They don't.
I mean, wait, hold on. Some of the people, from what I understand, some of the people are Persian. Some of the people are Arab.
Yeah, but there's Kurds.
Okay, so
Arab.
So there's Lars, there's Balochis, there's.
Yeah, but you have to understand. There's Azeris. But there's ethnic diversity, but they were a country for a very, very long time. There's strong nationalism. The Kurds, the Persians, the Azeris, they consider themselves Iranian. So that's a big difference than saying ethnic strife like Serbia.
Wait, Persians are not Arabs?
Most of them are not Arabs, no.
There was the one area in the Middle East that refused to Arab.
It's the thing that, once again, what worries me, because the whole region is very much tribalistic. And I wonder how much of that.
Andre, you really have to stop thinking. You have to really stop thinking of them like they're Arabs, because everything is wrong you're saying because you think they're Arabs. They're not a tribal society. They are not a tribal society. They're not Arabs.
Jeff, what I'm saying is, if you have Arabs in the mix, they will be tribalistic. Don't you think so?
Arabs are 11% of the population. They're among the poorest. They live in the hinterlands. You want to make it fit into a neat narrative, you need to do some research on it.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that's going to be right in there. But that's my prediction.
And in fairness, I have to say, I think it's the first time I've ever thought you were dead wrong on anything, to this degree. So I'm sorry I'm being short with you, because I actually do respect you on most things, very much. But you're dead wrong on every part of how you're trying to understand this.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm frustrated with people that compare everything to Iraq, so I got a little short there also, but I do respect your opinion, and I think it's just miseducation in this particular part of the region. And I don't know, this PTSD from Iraq that every single involvement has to be compared to Iraq and is just getting to me to a level that
No, I totally, Mayor, I totally get it. And the thing is, I don't have PTSD from Iraq because I'm actually, I thought it was a good thing. I just think it was handled poorly on the end portion of it. But I think it was a necessary thing to do. I'm not isolationist. I'm a interventionist for sure. And I don't think the United States should shy away from being a maritime empire. There's nothing bad about it.
What could go wrong?
Well, listen. I mean, I understand the Great Britain as an example, as a poor example of that type of approach. But I also think the United States have learned from British mistakes.
Yeah, I think I also have a visceral reaction from this Western idea that everything needs to immediately be a democracy. It's like not culturally sensitive at all. And there are a lot of things between a democracy and what the IRGC is that we can find acceptable, and that would be a hell of a lot better for the Iranian people. So this idea that we make it black and white, good and bad, like I think it's contrary to a solution for the problems of today. And I think it makes it harder for the people who actually want a revolution and want progress when we kind of paint it as, well, you can be a democracy or you can live with the people coming you down the streets.
What sometimes worries me is that also, just like with the Ukrainian example, right? People wanted on the surface to have
Exactly. It's got nothing to do with Iran. It's got to do with fucking Ukraine. Put the boots on the ground in Ukraine is what he's saying. Bitch, damn, he lost everything in Ukraine.
But in general, the paradigm, the internal paradigm has not shifted, or has not shifted yet. And so all the old problems are coming out to play. This is why the process is extremely difficult, especially in the process of war. And so, like any kind of society that is going through that transition, it's always a difficult period. It's always sometimes even bloody period. And just minimizing it, I think, should be a goal.
Hello, Moto. I am very excited about the potential future of Iran, actually, and Venezuela. I don't know, I think that this is going to change the panorama so much around the world.
Can you give me a brief of what's happening in Iran? I mean, I think that my understanding is people are protesting and they want to, live more democratically, etc.
Have you heard the news, or are you expecting for us to do the job for you?
I was expecting a brief on it. But no, it's okay if you don't want to give me, I'll read it.
somewhere between 4,000 and 12,000 protesters have been gunned down in the streets over the last 4 days. But then you should go read it.
Yeah, I'll read it. Yeah, that's a difficult situation. Thanks.
Compared to 2022, like, is your faith that something's going to change just based on the larger scale of casualties?
It's not only a larger scale, dude. Like, 2022 was about the hijabs. People were protesting because it was something internal and like, yeah, well, we don't want to be oppressed, whatever. This time, it's about change, regime change. The whole country is mobilizing. They're putting their lives on the table, you know. And right now, they know that that the U.S. and Israel both have got their backs. I think that this time is serious. This is the closest that they will be in the near future to have an opportunity like this.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Hey guys. So I think it's to be fair, not everyone that is on the streets, and I'm saying this as a Persian, and necessarily went on the streets because they want regime change. It started with the protesters in the bazaar. The real is basically worthless at this point. People have no water, people have no money. And for a lot of them, it's basically about that. So it's convoluted, and now it's obviously made popularized on social media, and it became mainly about regime change. But initially, this is not why the people went on the streets. But obviously, this is what a lot of them are demanding right now. So it's really complex and complicated. I know that the hardcore monarchists say everyone on the street is calling Pahlavi's name and things like that. It's not black and white like that.
Yeah, I agree with you, but in the end, it's multi-layered. But in the end, like, this is what they kind of like end up wanting. Like, there might be different views, I think, on why people are doing it, but I think that all of them agree that they want to stop living like that.
Correct, yeah.
And it's exciting. I think it's I see them as heroes right now. Like, all these people knowing how evil and thugs the IRGC are, and still wanting to put their lives at risk and going out, knowing that they can be killed, that there's a high possibility for them being killed, is massive.
So
super courageous.
This is actually one of the main differences compared to other protests in the past. Not just the wide scale in terms of not the numbers, but the amount of cities that are now involved, especially Tehran. People in the outskirts of Iran would always kind of make fun of. Sorry, I got a phone call. Do you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So people in past protests used to make fun of Tehran's population because they would rarely join in, right? And now you see protests in major cities, Tehran, Mashhad. This is significant. Not that it doesn't matter when people in the outskirts go on the streets in smaller cities. Of course it matters, but the major cities matter, right? Tehran matters. Mashhad, like the big cities, and that's what we're seeing now. And secondly, what you touched upon, Isa, is the fearlessness that we see in this round of protests more so than ever before, where people are like, we just don't care anymore. If we die, we die, and we didn't see that as much in the past.
It's very inspiring.
The buildings
What was the Iraq argument that was like shut down? When someone was like, I hate hearing it compared to Iraq. Is that like the power vacuum extremist argument?
Well, yes and no, because the thing with Iraq is like, yeah, well, they wanted to bring down Saddam, and the U.S. helped them do that, but they never really, like, the whole thing got stuck. And also, I think that U.S. had, like, a lot of boots on the ground. And so that is what I don't think is going to happen in Iran. You know, I don't think that the U.S. is going to take over the control of the government. I think they will kind of like, help them, but not necessarily intervene too much. But I don't know. It's just my hunch.
But if you support a coup without providing like resources after the coup, like that's where like America did that in Iraq. It ended up being like a never-ending process. And
we that's the exact argument that got shut down.
What did you say?
That was just restating what Andre said. The problem is with taking out the dictator. The problem is not supporting the establishment of order afterwards. And it's all based on confusing Iranians as Arabs. They're not Arabs. They're going to figure out their solution. Like they don't need us.
They also have
only work backwards.
They also have like a far more functioning like government and like military. Like I don't think that power vacuum will happen. Like whoever is the next leader of Iran, it might not be democratically elected. It might be like someone who is picked at the end of the day. Like I think that they have a lot more hopes for success than whoever our hand-picked puppets were in Iraq. Far less superior Air Force, Army, etc. So I get the argument that it's a false equivalent, but
I mean the real question has to be how do we best support a viable path to a stable Iran in the nearest future? And Iraq is not a model that should be taken as terribly informative in that conversation, because there are incredible differences between the two societies.
I meant more of an infrastructure possibility, because I'm assuming the borders between Iraq and Afghanistan that Iran shares with them, I'm assuming those are like heavily monitored, right?
I don't know about heavily. I think you also have a lot of very well-established Iranians in the West who, interestingly enough, are at an age where they can go spend 6 months or a year to go help. It's premature to talk about that, but most of my Iranian friends are just retired or are bored looking for things to do. That's interesting.
You know the old like kind of like hacky joke about like Persians and they all drive like white Mercedes and they refuse to call themselves Iranian. Like are most Persians are from what would be considered modern day Iran, right?
Yeah.
They've been a very successful community in America.
And the Persians are like to drive BMW, not Mercedes.
Iranians,
But they are white BMWs, right, David?
Last year when I was in Silicon Valley, I met a lot of Iranians actually there that are very involved in big tech and big venture capitalist funds. And Iranians are amazing. Iranians are very educated. they're not the typical Arab, as Jeff was saying. They're not Arabs.
Yeah, wasn't it back in like the 70s or like 80s when like Iran had like independent colleges and
They still have that.
In fact, do you remember, Jeff, that I tell you that I work with a couple of Qatari companies? Well, the guys, the founders of these two startups, they're Iranian, actually. They're not Qataris. They're not Arabs. They're Iranians.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, no, Pat, Iran has one of the most educated workforces in the world.
yeah, no, it's but it got like religiously oppressed like during like the 70s, right?
Yeah, but that didn't mean that they didn't invest in education. Women still go to college. They just have to go in orcas.
Yeah.
And this is, I think that Iran might have the larger amount or the larger colony, to call it like that, of ex-Muslims, right?
I think the last numbers I've seen, actually reliable-ish, were that only 20% of Iranians in Iran consider themselves to be Muslim.
Exactly, and it's a Muslim country, so everyone is against that because they're thinkers, and it's not because of hate or anything. They're born Muslim, but they educate themselves, they read, they understand, and they reject the religion.
I just remember one thing that stood out at the last World Cup was that the Iranian women who were in the audience were fucking beautiful. They were Latinas with like green eyes, and like I was like what
Yeah,
is
like
that?
Hala. And Yael.
Well,
Nails like a quarter, but yes.
How are you? And unlike Latinas, you probably wouldn't have to worry about like an Iranian chick stabbing you.
Yes, you would.
Oh, you would?
Yes, you would.
All right,
Yes,
still
don't make me clarify.
Still worth it. Still worth it. Like,
Iranian women are the Puerto Ricans of the Middle East
with green eyes.
Amazing.
I can't say anything more. I signed an NDA.
Yeah. Roya is Iranian as well, right?
Yep.
Who else is
I
Iranian?
didn't say that. You did. Hope.
Oh, Hope?
Hope is half. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know this.
Yes.
Yeah, there are many Iranians in the app. All of them.
Rumar is Iranian. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't know that either. I thought he was Indian.
Half Indian, half Iranian.
Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of Iranians. There is one, this guy that I used to talk to very seldom times, but he was very interesting. His name is Camille. He used to come to your rooms as well. That looks like Clark Kent. What? You remember Camille?
I'm not remembering that guy.
Well, he is Iranian as well. Very well educated and interesting. Very quiet, but very interesting when he would speak.
They're basically all very well educated.
Crazy idea.
Yeah, we got Samson as well. Samson is Iranian.
Crazy idea on some regime changes. Like, and at least I'm not like regurgitating 30,000. It's a completely unique thought. But like, imagine like Iran's regime is overthrown, and they're like, who's going to be next to guide us? Imagine the people who like immigrated from places like that, who like came to other societies, did well, and were successful in life, and they ran like we pitched. So like in America, I'm sure we have like 4 Iranian or Persian immigrants who were successful in America, and we could put those up for nomination. And England probably has a couple, and France, and like there's probably like successful Iranians who had to leave because of they were worried about being persecuted. and they can come home like the conquering heroes, and they can be elected. Like, they have to go and pitch to the people, and like American, like, and there's like I feel like that regime change would be beneficial to like the Western world and its allies.
And we need to start with virtually any replacement is going to be better than what they had.
Yeah, exactly. But then also, like, why not make it be beneficial? You know?
Well, I mean, first of all, it will be beneficial. Importing a bunch of big fish from small ponds who haven't been in the country for 60 years. I mean, look, what you're doing is basically what the plan is, what you're suggesting is. Reza Shah has, for all intents and purposes, been an American for most of his life. He still has an accent, but most likely that's because he chooses to keep it. Right? Like, I think he was, 17 when he moved to America? I mean, that's essentially the transition plan is to bring back some of the previous folks to help with the transition.
Something that gives consistency to the people in Iran as well, something that they sort of know, and someone that they already know, and I don't know, I think it's necessary to feel a little bit of stability. That will help a lot, actually.
I think ultimately they need to land on some federal system, some weak confederacy where you have a very weak federal government and a lot of independence for the various regions, and that they can all still be Iranian, but they can do it their way to a certain degree. That probably is the most powerful combination for these people, at least initially.
Yeah.
Andre got played like a bitch.
Is anyone here friends with Emerald and can ping her in?
No, but I saw her before in this room.
Yeah, I meet her in rooms when she gets, like, now, yesterday was in Barakat room, and now in Illumi and Prince. So they do like a Palis versus Zionists, where when I speak, literally, whenever I unmic, and they say, I will give you time, a minute and a half. So after a minute and a half, one time I got, she gets like 5 minutes. And then when I come to reply, I get a minute and a half. After like 3 seconds, like 3 people jump on me. And then it removes me down because I continue speaking while they're speaking. So I invited her if she wants to have a fair debate, but I cannot invite her to a room, unfortunately.
Okay, so I saw her yesterday in Buttercup's room, and I opened her profile, and I was not following her, but apparently my other profile is following her. So she's friends with the other. Let me see if I can get in here with my other.
Maybe I can find her.
So I can ping her in. Because my other account for sure is following her, because I noticed that yesterday. But I opened her profile and I read that she's an anti-Zionist Israeli, so she is from Israel.
Who are you talking about? What's her name?
I don't know, but she and Buttercup became close yesterday. Good friends.
She's disgusting. She's notorious from X.
I don't know, what's her name?
Just Ambrose. That's where she goes.
Oh, Ambrose.
or does she live in the U.S.?
Israel. She's the epitome of a self-hating Jew. She might as well be the spawn of Amos.
No, Amos's kids are normal. I hate him.
I don't think that Amos is necessarily, anti-Zionist, but he is naive. Like, he wants everybody to get along and whatever. I don't know.
He's none of those things. He's just a narcissist who wants his opinion to be the only valid opinion. If it was unpopular to be a far-right Zionist, that's what he would be.
Yeah, but he's not very good at it. Like, he doesn't come up with good arguments and like thought-provoking and challenging. He just spews nonsense.
Yeah, he's the left version of Shucky.
Yeah, Shucky spews nonsense as well.
Is he still on this app?
No, thank God, he's Netflix cleansed.
I like Shuki when it comes to M. Rose. She can take it. M. Rose made a big name for herself. You guys all remember Nelson on the app, right? Well, when Nelson moved over to X and he was doing huge, hundreds to like thousands of people on his room. And he was doing
Her Magen David is short of point.
Everything is short of point. Magen David was, yeah.
Okay, I just linked her in with my own account.
She's so mad.
Oh my God, Madruta is here. It's time to end the room.
What does it mean?
Oh,
I don't know.
He's not that bad.
He's one of those.
I'm making more juice today. I'm heading to the mitzvah right now. Mazel tov. Yeah.
Tomorrow there is a huge demonstration in Israel to support the Iranian people.
Oh, nice.
And I think there's one in New York City.
That's in the Matrix, but I was gonna say that I prefer buttercup over nut.
Oh. That's good.
Buttercup has another name. Another name.
The Antichrist.
She's sort of new, Illuminati. She came in August. So that's the only name she's had.
It's like her
There's a girl that has the same voice.
But her voice
Yeah,
sounds.
Yeah, because she sounds like Elle.
There's a girl called like Bubbles.
Bubbles.
They have the
Yeah,
same
she was
voice.
Elle. Her name is Elle. Yeah. She was before Elle.
Or as Amos says, Bubbles. Seriously, this is how it goes.
She doesn't know
He
who
doesn't
I
even
am.
know what.
Oh,
He doesn't even know what he's saying.
But I went into her room yesterday as I guess it was ending, and she apparently thought I was someone else, but she doesn't know me. And she looked at my profile, and I have nothing on my profile, yet she still determines, oh, it's a pro-Israel illusion. And it's like, okay.
Well, yesterday,
you are shitting on Mamdani, so one can assume that you don't hate the Jews.
He used to have to pay for that before he was married and shit on his chest.
I mean, technically,
Yes,
I'm
the
not
product
hitting
got-
on him. I'm just highlighting his own,
Accomplishments.
I
You're
think
pouring his
that
own shit on him.
my best buttercup moment was when she didn't really know me, but she hated me already. She came into our room and said, Isa, do you think that you're more Jewish than me? And I'm like, no, because I'm not Jewish. But she formed herself a whole puzzle in her head about me. And I thought that was hilarious.
But he said the answer is yes.
Rather, yes. Yesterday, whenever the Zionists came on stage, she introduced them as a radical and a bad-faced actor. Everybody. Woman, seriously, sick in the head. Not sick as in, sick, there's something wrong with it.
I called it. I have a lot of history with sick women. I can see them from a mile away. I'm an amateur expert. I guess.
I said Palestinianism, and Amber said, don't say Palestinianism. Then I said Israeli Arab. Don't say Israeli Arabs. Bitch. What do you want?
People.
It's a Zionist term.
Last night I was listening to you for what seemed like hours, Daniel, in Amir's room.
Sometimes I feel like
You remind me of a young Norm.
Me? Yesterday? Today?
Last night.
In the morning?
Norm went hours without talking. Well, I wasn't in the room. I was listening to John Kitover's feed. Hours. There's about 10 hours of it on. And
I can speak for hours. I cannot speak hours in Amir's room.
no,
Not
it
allowed.
speaks for 30 seconds.
Yes, I don't speak for hours.
But you kept on, then you got a few phone calls, then you came back.
Yes. Yeah.
And
This
one
morning,
part of it,
this morning.
I wanted to say, and I didn't want you to take this the wrong way, something I've said before. I hate you because you're better than me, and I don't like that.
But I'm fighting for you. Thank you, but I'm fighting for you too. I'm fighting for both. I'm on your team.
I accept that, and I agree, and I appreciate it enormously. But, I like to be the best. And then the other thing is, I actually could see that he was annoying you a little bit because this part of you, this is such an interesting part of the Jewish people. You're actually trying to be reasonable against all
Peter said order for 12:10.
I asked them, what does from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free? How does it go in Arabic? And they wouldn't say that. It's not from the water and water. Okay, forget about it. How does it end? Palestina Arabia or not? They wouldn't answer it. I asked it 20 times. There were many Arab speakers. None of them told me because they knew that once they tell me, it would expose their real narrative, which is they are Arabs, not Palestinians, which is what Ambrose doesn't like. The reason that I call Israeli Arabs is because there were no Palestinians when they became Israeli Arabs. They were Arabs. They were called Arabs of Palestine. And then they
My
became
grandmother
Arabs
was an
of
Arab.
Israel.
My grandmother was Palestinian. Sorry.
But wait, do they say that Palestinians are not Arab?
No, but they are.
Yes, they say that if we say Palestinians, we deny their identity.
Their
If you
humanity.
say Arabs, I'm sorry.
How dare you deny their identity they made up in 1966?
Yeah,
And
don't
then-
like that.
And then she said something amazing. Listen to the sentence that she said. I wrote it down. Palestinians, I'm not sure that she even understood what she's saying. Palestinians, yes, are the Jews of the Middle East. This is what she said.
What does it
Very
mean?
good.
I think Jews are Jews.
Basically, like, exactly. But she missed that part, okay? Basically, like, prosecuted, like they are the victims of the prosecuted group. But the Jews of the Middle East are the Jews of the Middle East. Like, what are you talking about? You forgot about your nation?
Daniel, I think you misunderstood her point. I think she was saying to the extent that they are, in fact, legitimately Palestinians, it's because their ancestors were Jews who converted. I think she was actually taking a very pro-Zionist move with that.
I don't know what she was thinking. I don't think she thinks. It's talking points. It's like a meal. Havana agreement. Who coined the term Mizrahi? Who kicked out from Arab countries? Yeah, but who coined the term Mizrahi? It's Israel that coined it. I'm like, Mizrahi is a word that means from the east. Mizrach is east. Mizrahi is an eastern. Someone came from the east. It's in Hebrew. Israel invented it because Israel is the only one speaking Hebrew and it was about her own people. But it has nothing to do with the fact that a million Jews were ethnically cleansed during the so-called Nakba. We just didn't brand it as a Nakba and kept on being like miserable for decades.
What point is he trying to make with Mizrahi?
He doesn't have a point. It's talking points is not having a point. It's like, and then he's like, it's Israel. Okay, so what's your point? Basically, I don't even know. Basically, he's trying to ask something, get a stupid answer, and then I'm right, you're wrong, you're stupid. Basically, this is what he says.
If I hear one more liberal white woman in America compare her struggle to fucking Iranians, I think I'm going to fucking go ballistic. I literally can't. These people, like, you let me know when there's body bags lined up in your fucking city, dipshit. Unfucking rip.
Could you ping me, please, if that happens? Would you mind?
God damn. I mean, these people are, like, literally, you compared your struggle to Iranians? Are you shitting me? Ma'am, you'll be able to vote. You get that?
When someone gets on your wrong side, you start to tear them a new one. I feel like saying, "Oh, you don't want to do that," to the guy doing it. It's like, "Oh, that's a bad idea." Maybe you want to think about that.
These are women, Norm. These are women who are commenting. You know, people are sharing their heartfelt posts. Most of them are Iranian or have friends that are Iranian. They're sharing their heartfelt posts, and just you can feel the emotions. And you know, rightfully so, calling out the Western media, the UN, like, where are you? Where are you? The silence is loud and clear. And what do these women do in the comment section? We're fighting our own struggle. We're fighting for our own freedom. Are you fucking kidding me? like totally. These are the people who claim to be intelligent.
Divorced from reality completely.
Anywho, okay.
If it makes you feel any better, they're not actually intelligent.
Well, no shit. I'm like, are you literally comparing your struggle? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, my welfare ended after 72 weeks. I'm just like an Iranian woman.
My Starbucks is closed. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They're saying, oh, we understand your pain because we're also living under a dictatorship with Trump. But at least you had a good man and whatever. Basically, they're saying that they're worse off in the U.S. than they are in Venezuela or Iran. It's ridiculous.
Really? How come I don't see any of this stuff? I think that's anti-Semitic.
The fact that you don't see it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm living with a kid who is obsessed with the problems with ICE, and she is participating in marches. I didn't know it. She flew to New York, not recently, but she went to march in New York, probably Detroit. She's marched in Bentonville, and I'm not in. I'm sorry, that's a problem. I am just flabbergasted that we want to say that you shouldn't have picked up Maduro. So, okay, but this is not my main point.
Is this your doctor, Shirley?
Yes, she is driving me crazy, Norm.
Subscribe to the live now.
What I tell you is, if she was
The revolution of Iran begins now!
It just turns out that you found out she was retarded in your reporting. Just accept it. You can't fix it. You can't change it.
Okay, but moving past that, we've heard this complaint from me many times. One of what, to my point, I have always just thought, when I first met Norm and Daniel, I thought, my God, why are you people arguing with these retarded people? And then I decided that you're right, because when I was young, all the boys. Well, I thought that in the Christian faith, we have apologetics, and the boys all loved apologetics and loved being able to argue. It turns out it was a right thing. It was right for them to be able to understand their position and be able to argue their position. Because right now, we have on Instagram and other social media places, we have Islamists on the internet trying to say that they are the same as Christians, that they love Jesus. It is the biggest, that is not true. Can you hear me?
It's called Petia. They will say anything to advance their ideology, which is about taking basically land, Muslim land. Muslim land is Muslim land, is forever Muslim land, and whatever is not Muslim land is.
Yes. Well, and our prophet is that we believe is actually God, and our children should need to understand that, and they should be able to argue it and know why we believe that. And to do that, you have to be in a church that actually teaches the Old Testament. And we're failing. I went to a church with my daughter where they got up and talked. The birth of Christ was not mentioned, and they were talking about the housing problem in Bentonville. Okay, Bentonville has turned into a very rich community. Okay, and if you can't afford to live in Bentonville, you have to live in the town next door. I'm sorry. And that was the conversation. That was the pastor's talk on the day where we're supposed to be celebrating and teaching our children about the birth of Christ. The Christians are illiterate, and they're not able to argue their position. So good on you, Norm and Daniel. Keep it up.
I'll make you a deal show right there after we successfully contain your we'll fix Christianity.
Well, see, there's this thing about Judaism. You actually do learn Scripture, and you do learn to argue it. And you can argue with one another. These people are not even being taught the Scripture. What kind of situation?
The funny thing is, we really don't rely on Scripture in the same way as Christians or Muslims do. We really don't learn. We read it. We discuss it for understanding. Not for, Timothy 1:6 says, blah, 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 and therefore I'm right. Like, our approach to Scripture actually is very different than Christians.
Jeff, I see your point, and you can't just say it once. You have to have a comprehensive knowledge of the word. and you're not getting the comprehensive knowledge. You're better at that. And anyway, and when I went to church with her Christmas, because I thought maybe I could go be a Methodist and then support Christian values this way. Oh hell no! I'm not sitting through what sounded like a city council meeting on Christmas Eve. No, I can't do it. Okay. Oh, Jeff, don't be silly. You're trying to pull the Christian chain. We're not going to entertain this. Well, the leftists, which my daughter sent me an article that just said that good Christians should take care of the immigrants. Well, it does say that. And if we want to do that, we will change the laws and make immigration a fair logical process, which no one in our government wants to do that. Why? Because the real kings of the United States are people like Walmart, and they like it just the way it is. They want to be able to exploit people and keep wages down among the strong white people. Okay, so and they're also young white people. Just saying. Peon here. The word is peon. You know what the word peon is? It's what they have in Mexico. They really want it to be like in Mexico, where we work for $3 a day and we like it. And groceries cost just as much as in the United States. They want the people that are in power would like it to be that way. There you go, Jeff. And I have participated in the care of immigrants. It was part of my working career. So I got a solid understanding of that. It doesn't say, let's let them in so we can prostitute them. And it says we should actually take care of them. It doesn't say, because that's what's going on. 20,000 children that flew in 2 weeks after I got in, they were being prostituted. Okay, poor Norm had to leave on that. I'm sorry. Yes, it's very sweet, but I love that you are. I'm from Dallas. We know all about prostitution in Dallas. We're one of the top prostitution cities in the country.
years old or something?
So Richard.
Unbelievable. That sounds like a long term.
Say that again, Jim. I did missed your point. You missed that.
The one Israeli dude was arrested in Israel over a year ago, and they just released him.
پاسداران، ارتشیان و همه رزمندگان دیگر بارداها این انسانهای به تو پیوسته جنباز فداکار را هر جا هستند یار و یاور باش. خدایا این امت ما را که به این کمال نترسیدن از مرگ رسیده است همچنان در راه این کمال استوار بدار.
Well, I've done a fair job of avoiding the relationship, but I've seen some of those and I don't like
The way that moves as you move. Some commentary on the verse: as you start on the way appears. When you cease to be, real being becomes. Zuleika shut every door, but Joseph kept rattling the locks. He trusted and kept moving back and forth, and somehow he escaped. This is the way to slip through to your non-spatial home. Think how you came into this world. Can you explain how that was? No. The same way you came, you leave. You wander landscapes in your dreams. How did you get there? Close your eyes and surrender. Find yourself in the city of God. When you close your eyes, you see people applauding. As surely as an owl shuts its eyes and sees the forest. You live in an admiration world, but what do you offer admirers? If you had true spirit, gifts to give, you would not think of customers. There was once a man who said, I am a prophet. In fact, I am the edge of prophecy moving through time. People surround him and tie him up and bring him before the king. What right does this man have to say that he lives in the place of revelation? The man himself speaks up. Think how an infant sleeps and grows unconsciously into awareness. Prophets are not like that. They pass awake from the source to this up and down of the five. Senses, this left, right, back and forth, put him on the rack, they scream. But the king sees that the man is thin and fragile. He speaks gently. Kindness is his way. He disperses the crowd, sits the man down, and asks where he lives. My home is the peace of God. but I have come to this judging place where no one knows me. I feel like a fish upon sand. The king keeps trying to joke him out of his state, but why did you make these claims today? Was it something you ate? Don't care about world food. I'm tasting God's honey. But what is there to these people? They're like mountain rocks. They scoff at me by echoing what I say. If I brought them news of money or a love note from a sweetheart, they would welcome me. But not with this prophecy talk. It's like a blood-soaked bandage on a donkey's back. The one who removes it is being helpful. But he's going to get kicked. No one here wants to be healed. Show me someone who wants what I have. But let's suppose for a moment that my inspiration is not divine. Still, you would agree my speaking is not inferior to the workings of a bee? The Quran says God has inspired thee. This universe is filled with honey. Human beings feed on it and evolve upward with the same, but more profound. Inspiration as the bee. So the man defends his claim. You have read about the inspired spring. Drink from there. Be companions with those whose lips are wet with that water. Others, even though they may be your father or your mother, are enemies. Leave before they kill you. The pathless path opens whenever you genuinely say, there is no reality but God. There is only God.
Because a lot of things were deleted, but they were talking about the 12,000 people that were killed in Iran, and then she said it's unconfirmed, it's unverified, which is true. Yes, she's right. I'm just wondering about the 70 or 300 or 200 million whatever Palestinians that died. I never heard her say like, okay, it's unverified, it's not confirmed, but with this, she was really ready to automatically like delegitimize it. Now again, I don't know if it's true. If it's 12,000 or 2,000, I really don't know. But that was my point. I have a phone.
I don't think she was making any kind of point this morning when that was happening.
No, I was in the chat apparently, but I didn't notice because I was not paying attention to the chat. I was doing something else.
It was very funny. She kept going, Nisa, do something, do something.
No, that was Bibi saying, Nisa, do something.
No, she said it first. Someone deleted her whining, and then he mocked her and said, and wrote it again.
Okay, because when I went to scroll up on the comments, I saw Bibi saying, Nisa, do something. But I didn't notice while it was happening. So I was just wondering because...
My money is it was Bibi. My money was Bibi doing it.
Yeah, me too. He loves the fuckery.
Yep. And it was just funny because she was reacting.
Yeah, but it's not cool because then Bibi wants other people to treat him well as well. Like even T-Ross, he kicked him yesterday apparently out of the room And Bibi was like, yeah, I was kicked out of the room and I was only in the audience. Well, like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. This is him. I cannot control him, and I was not in the room. But then Bibi does this shit as well. So
بسیجی عاشق کربلاست به کربلا را تو مپندار که شهری نیست در میان شهرها و نامیست در میان نامها نه کربلا حق است و هیچ کس را جز یاران امام حسین علیه السلام راهی به سوی حقیقت نیست. کربلا ما را نیز در خیل کربلایان بپذیر. ما می‌آییم تا بر خاک تو بوسه زنیم و آن را روای قیامت است.
actually trump someone's rights, I would be against that, but not just because of anti-Semitism, but because that is illegal.
Yeah, but you're having a conversation.
But hold on. But let me finish.
It's not relevant to what we were talking about.
My point is, okay, he's an anti-Semite. We define that. So what?
Well,
how do we move forward in the conversation?
And you got it. Because again, I don't spend my time on the app recording.
No. Jeff, you can criticize him all you want.
Daniel, you have magical powers over him.
No, listen. You can criticize him all you want. We all know each other here. We've been here for years. We all know he's an anti-Semite. We know he hates the Jews. So why do we need to call it every time, for example, that he is involved in a conversation?
Because his reasoning, I mean, he says something, okay, about the Jews, and it's obviously like a black library or just case. So we say, okay, so he's an anti-Semite. This is what he stands on. It's not about being right or moral or humane or logic or factual, none of it. He's saying something anti-Semitic. It's all about spreading hate against the Jews, and at the end, I mean, this hate is translated into action even without going and saying, go kill the Jews. That is the situation that we live. We have... Because it became legitimate to attack Jews. And we, the Jews, we don't think it's legitimate.
Like you're mentioning about how do we deal with him, the anti-Semite, not the fact that hold on, I thought about the example by being that specifically when I called one elected official what we should tell me anti-Semite, your response was you call everybody an anti-Semite. Semite. I don't think the example of Semite take off the next one is safe. Not to say effectively you Jews think that is what you guys, if you aren't speaking to me, then were you speaking to me? Because you said clearly you were not speaking directly to me, because I clearly don't do that.
Okay, I'm telling you that. I'm not going to have anyone controlling my speech just the same way that I control your speech.
Who keep trolling you? I'm talking about the friends and respect.
I was giving you my version.
I wish we could control you. We cannot.
I am explaining
You're like, yeah, we can control you.
I am explaining why I don't like these type of arguments. Argumentation in the same way that needs to make my fucking point. In the same way that it causes me like itchiness as well, the whole racist label. I don't like it. I don't like it when we're talking. I don't care if you don't know you're not racist. But when somebody throws a racist label, it's like shutting down the conversation. I don't like it. And I
I don't like it when I now and very infrequently use to label someone who wants to see my children dead anti-Semite is delegitimized based on the behavior of other people because that's what you don't like in your essence. It's a corporation. It's not throwing labels.
do you think
It's not throwing labels. Yes.
Yeah, I think he aligns with people who are my children. Yes.
You think J.D. Vance wants your children dead?
مرا بیچاره نامیدند و رفتند سواران لحظه ای تمکین نکردند ترحم بر من مسکین نکردند سواران از سر نقشم گذشتند فغانها کردم اما بر نگشتم اسیر و زخمی و بی دست و پا من رفیقان این چه سودا بود با من رفیقان رسم هم دردی کجا رفت جوان مردی کجا رفت مرا این پشت مگذارید بیتاب گناهم چیست پایم بود در خواب اگر دیر آمدم مجروح بودم اسیر قبض و بسط روح بودم اگر دیر آمدم مجروح بودم اسیر قبض و بسط روح بودم در باغ شهادت را نبندی به ما بیچارگان زان سو نخندی در باغ شهادت را نبندی به ما بیچارگان زان سو نخندی رفیقانم دعا کردند و رفتند مرا زخمی رها کردند و رفتند رها کردند در زندان بمانم دعا کردند سرگردان بمانم شهادت نردبان آسمان بود شهادت آسمان را نردبان بود چرا برداشتند این نردبان را چرا بستند راه آسمان را چرا برداشتند این نردبان را چرا بستند راه آسمان را مرا پایی به دست نردبان بود مرا دستی به بام آسمان بود شهید تو بالا رفته ای من در زمینم برادر تو سیاهم شرمگینم برادر تو سیاهم شرمگینم مرا اسب سپیدی بود روزی شهادت را امیدی بود روزی در این اطراف دوشه دل تو بودی نگهبان شب غافل تو بودی بگو اسب سپیدم را که دزدید امیدم را که دزدید امیدم را که دزدید مرا اسب چموشی بود روزی شهادت می فروشی بود روزی شبی چون باد بر یالش خزیدم به سوی خانه صافی دویدم 40 شب راه را بی وقت راندم 40 تفسیر صافی نامه خواندم ببین ای دل چقدر این قصر زیباست گمانم خانه صافی همینجاست گمانم خانه صافی همینجا دلم تا دست بر دامان سر زد دو دستی سنگ شیون را به سر زد امیدم مشت نومیدی به در کن نگاهم قفل در میشه قدر کن که در دست این که در فصل عقاقی به روی عاشقان در بست صافی به روی عاشقان در بست صافی بر این دروای من قفلی لجوج بر این دروای من قفلی لجوج است به جوش ای عشق هنگام خروج است در میخانه را گیرم که بستند کلیدش را چرا یارب شکستند کلیدش را چرا یارب شکستند کلیدش را چرا یارب شکستند کردند در زندان بمانم دعا کردند سرگردان بمانم من آخر طاقت ماندن ندارم من آخر طاقت ماندن ندارم خدایا تا به جان کندن ندارم خدایا تا به جان کندن ندارم دلم تا چند یارب خسته باشد در لطف تو تا کی بسته باشد در لطف تو تا کی بسته باشد بیا باز امشب دل در بکوبیم بیا این بار محکم‌تر بکوبیم بیا باز امشب دل در بکوبیم بیا این بار محکم‌تر بکوبیم مکوب ای دل به تلخی دست بر دست در این قصر بلور آخر کسی هست در این قصر بلور آخر کسی هست بکوب ای دل که اینجا قصر نور است بکوب ای دل مرا شرم حضور است بکوب ای دل
Hey, Honey Badger. Look who's here, Mr. Big Guy. How's the most argumentative man in the world?
Yes, I am the most interesting man on this.
No, I said argumentative. Are you this argumentative with people in your real life?
Listening to some Mozart right now. I'm having a hard time.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry, did you say I'm the most interesting man on this app? Is that what you're saying?
Hi, this is John. Chris, I gotta hop off the call. You said voter ping? Okay, I gotta hop off the call. If you could call me back in like a couple hours, I'm expecting an urgent call. I apologize. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
در شرم دارم بکوب ای دل که جای شک و زن مرا هرچند روی در زدن نیست کریمان گرچه ستار العیوبن گدایانی که محبوبن خوبن گدایانی که محبوبن خوبن بکوب ای دل مشو نومید از این در بکوب ای دل هزاران بار دیگر دلا پیشای تا دادت بگویم به گوشت قصه ای شیرین بگویم برون آیی اگر از حفره ناز به رویت میگشایم سفره راز به رویت میگشایم سفره راز نمیدانم بگویم یا نگویم دلا بگذار تا حالا نگویم ببخش ای خوب امشب ناتوانم خطا رفته از دست زبانم لطیفا رحمتا بر من ضعیفم قوی تر از من است امشب حریفم، شبی تر که محبت گفته بودم، میان دره شب خفته بودم، میم از ناله شیرین تهی بود، سرم بر خاک طاقت سر نمیسود، زبانم حرف با حرفی نمیزد، سکوتم ظرف بر ظرفی نمیزد، نگاهم خال در جایی نمیکوب، به چشمم اشک غم پایی نمیکوب، دلم در سینه قفلی بود محکم، کلیدش بود در دریاچه غم، کلیدش بود در دریاچه غم، امیدم گرد امیدی نمیگشت، شبم دنبال خورشیدی نمیگشت، حبیبم قاصدی از پی فرستاد، پیامی با بلوری می فرستاد، که میدانم تو را شرم حضور است، مشو نومید اینجا قصر نور است، مشو نومید اینجا قصر نور است. الا ای عاشق اندوهگینم، نمیخواهم تو را غمگین ببینم، نمیخواهم تو را غمگین ببینم، اگر آه تو از جنس نیاز است، در باغ شهادت باز است، در باغ شهادت باز است، در باغ شهادت باز است، نمیدانم که در سر این چه سوداست، همین اندازه میدانم که زیباست، خداوندا چه درد است این چه درد است، که فولاد دلم را آب کرده است، مرا ای دوست شرم بندگی کش، چه لطف است این مرا شرمندگی کش، چه لطف است این مرا شرمندگی کش.
شیر مردان خدا، کرب و بلا در انتظار است. قسمت دوم.
What you've been given. How can we know the divine qualities from within if we know only through metaphors? It's like when virginal young people ask what sex feels like and you answer like candy. So sweet. The suchness of sex comes with being inside the pleasure. So whatever you say about mysteries, I know or I don't know, both are close to being true. Neither is quite a lie. Someone asks, do you know the prophet Noah? You may answer, well, I've read stories in school. I've heard the legends that have come down. But only someone in Noah's state can know him. Now I hear a theologian reacting, don't get stuck in that ditch. What you have just said is absurd. And the King of Saints, the Qutb, replies, any state other than what you have experienced seems absurd. You have had certain visions. Before them, did not mysticism sound ridiculous? What you've been given has released you from prison 10 times. Won't this empty desert freedom you feel now someday be confining? Now I lay me down to stay awake. Pray the Lord my soul to take into wakefulness, so that I can get this one bit of wisdom clear. Grace comes to forgive and then forgive again. Grace got confused. One maddening drop, then another. You pour wine for us now like that. Remember when you poured full light all at once a whole day, you put your finger on your lips wanting quiet. But those drops you drip keep talking. It's not us. As you were killing Junaid, he said more. In each blood drop of his a new Bastami. The first that fell on ground grew Adam. In the sky, Gabriel. Those old days you poured according to merit. Then Grace got confused, and you poured everybody some. Bread does not deserve you. Yet you lived your life for bread. You brought water and threw it at the water carrier. What you showed Moses was not fire, but a shape of consciousness. Will that Friday ever come again when you served your close friends individually? Each moment a stranger and friend meet. The buds mix. Roses drop petals in autumn. Shy. Offer your friendship. Hi, this is John.
Mr. Kitover, this is Administrative Law Judge from the Department of Employment Security. Are you ready for the hearing today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Hold the line for a moment while I call up the reporter's witness. All right, before I begin, I'd like to let you both know that this is a recorded hearing, so in order to continue, Mr. Kitover, do I have your consent to the recording?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty, Mr. Bureau, do I have your consent?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So this is the hearing before the Illinois Department of Employment and Security Appeals Division. The docket number that I have for today is 2530974. Even though this hearing is conducted over the phone, it is a formal hearing, and as such, any testimony that the witnesses provide today that needs to be taken under an oath or affirmation. So at this moment, I'm going to ask that you both raise your right hand while I administer this oath. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Mr. Kitover, is that your oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty, and Mr. Bureau, is that your oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that today's witnesses have taken the oath. So this hearing's being held today, January 13th, 2026, before Judge Tubbs at the Division Office in Springfield, Illinois.
concerns, or my first order, this hearing concerns an appeal from an employment security local office determination that was dated April 29th, 2025. That determination held that the evidence shows that the claimant was discharged from IRS because he was absent from work. He was absent without leave and failed to follow established leave procedures from November 2024 to March 2025. And since the reason the claimant was discharged constituted a violation of a known and reasonable company rule, the claimant was discharged for misconduct connected with the work, and the claimant is ineligible for benefits from March 23rd, 2025, and will be determined ineligible until he meets the eligibility requirements. A section of law that applies is Section 602A of the Unemployment Insurance Act. And 602A provides that an individual shall be ineligible for benefits for the week in which he has been discharged for misconduct connected with his work, and thereafter until he has become reemployed and has had earnings equal to or in excess of his current weekly benefit amount, which is 4 calendar weeks. So, Mr. Kitover, do you understand what that determination I just read means?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alrighty, and Mr. Bureau, do you also understand what that determination means? Yes, Your Honor. Alright, well, Mr. Kitover, this determination does go a little further, and it states that if you disagree with this determination, that you may submit your request for an appeal in writing, and it must be submitted to the department within 30 calendar days after the date this notice was mailed to you. So this notice was mailed to you on April 29th, 2025. That would have put a deadline to file your appeal on May 29th. I had your appeal received on September 22nd, which is about 4 months late. Is there a reason why your appeal wasn't filed in a timely manner?
Yes, Your Honor. One of the fact is I was terminated May 30th, 2025. And so that's technically my last day with the IRS. The reason why it was filed late was because I uploaded it to the Illinois Department of Employment Security website, and it said received. So I was expecting a response via mail. I never got the response, so I called up. He was shocked that I was calling so late, and I was under the understanding that it was received. So I mailed it in, and then I got a phone call back from an employee, and she explained to me the appeal process to the Board of Review and the steps that I was going to have to go to appeal this. And there were technical problems with the website, and I also was disconnected multiple times. I couldn't get through.
Real quick there, Mr. Kitover, you understand that the website is not a way you can file an appeal. You have to either mail it or fax it.
No, this was the...
No matter what you do, you cannot upload an appeal and have a valid timestamp from either the Postal Service or we'll accept the one that's on the fax machine. But when you upload a document, there's no way to tell when you started to upload it and when the upload ended.
Yes, Your Honor.
It doesn't work that way. That's why we don't accept it. Not for pleadings, we can accept it for evidence, and it doesn't have the same time constraints. But as far as pleadings go, you need to follow the rules that we have for pleadings.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please file the request by mail or fax at the address or fax number listed above.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, can I just add that my last day was actually May 30th, 2025, and I filed a new IDS claim on July 8th, 2025. And so even though I may have... Yes, Your Honor.
We're still talking about this claim that you did file, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I preemptively filed the claim mistakenly. My last day was May 30th, 2025, Your Honor.
Okay, but I mean, we're just going based on when you filed your claim, right? You filed your claim in March.
Your Honor, I wasn't actually discharged from the IRS service at that time, Your Honor. I was under a wrong impression.
Do not care. You don't have to be discharged. You don't have to be terminated. You can still be employed and file a claim. Okay?
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
fact of the matter is, Mr. Kitover, is your appeal was filed late. What that gets us to is I don't have the authority to assume any jurisdiction over this matter because it was filed late. So I'm going to have to dismiss this case because I don't have a timely filed appeal as evidence in your case file. So I don't have jurisdiction authority to assume any jurisdiction over this matter. So I'm going to dismiss this case and write a decision that says exactly that. This case was dismissed for a lack of jurisdiction because the appeal was filed late. Do you have any evidence to show that you did file your appeal following the rules in a timely manner or made an attempt to file the appeal following the rules in a timely manner? You can submit that evidence along with an appeal of my decision to the Board of Review. If you know how to do that, you have 30 days from the date that's stand those appeal rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. And Mr. Bureau, do you understand those appeal rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you for your time and your cooperation today. I appreciate your safe and for the rest of your day.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
This was supposed to be the final adjudication under my understanding that I had already gone through an administrative hearing, and this was the appeal to the this was supposed to be the Board of Review appeal with Katie Newsham. Newsham.
She does not work for the Board of Review, the administrative law judge, just like I am. She was unavailable for the hearing today. Instead of rescheduling your hearing, I decided I'd go ahead and take it up for today, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I understand, Your Honor.
If you read the Board of Review decision, the Board of Review decision says that an inadequate transcript of the prior hearing cannot be prepared for their review. So they send the case back. I know this is last.
Oh, I understand.
Hearing.
Okay, I apologize, Your Honor. Thank you for explaining it.
Okay, don't worry. I'm not messing up. I know what I'm doing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
My letter in the mail, you'll be fine. Everybody have a nice day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Wow. Can't believe my boss showed up to that. I know what I'm doing, buddy. What the fuck? Another trial? Oh my God. So I have to mail the evidence. I can't email it. Yes, Your Honor. Now it's time to file for fucking Congress writing candidate. Back to the to-do list, boys!
اللهم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. ما خدمت بشارگزاری که راهنمون سریع رسیدیم چند نکته مهم بود به برادران عزیز تذکر دادیم. اولین نکته احساس شرمندگی در مقابل عظمت روح، ایثار، صبر، شکیبایی و تقوای همه بندگان همتون آقا رب العالمین بخشای عملیات کرده همه مبارک به خوب دقت کنید که هر کدومتون تصمیم در واضح کنید به قول خمینی 50 جنازه حرام ایمان شما لحظه لحظه رو فهمده لحظه رو فهمده
That's what's going on.
Yes. They're killing their own people. We do not like that.
But
Don't you care about that, or are you just numb to this killing of their own?
But loads of people are killing their own people.
What about you? Well, let's talk about Iran for a second.
Loads of people are killing their own people.
Don't you care about Iran killing their own people?
I do care.
Okay, so then we care and you care. So what's your question?
Well, what I'm asking is,
you just asked already.
Well, you're not like passively assisting Iran. You're actively assisting Iran. And what I'm asking is,
you mean the United States? Yes, our country
Yeah, there's an ROI. There's an ROI on this. There's an ROI.
What? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that.
Hold on, Jeff. Why are you fucking concerned?
He's not concerned.
We want Israel. We want Israel to help us. We're begging Israel and U.S. to help us. Why are you like? Why are you complaining about this?
No, I'm just
get it.
pattern recognition.
Like the voice of an angel.
That's not an answer.
The voice of an angel.
You know what I think it is? I think you just hate Jewish people and you don't care that IRGC is killing its people.
Wow.
Oh, Sarah, come on. There's no anti-Semitism on Clubhouse. There's no anti-Semites on
That's
Clubhouse.
exactly what it is, Jeff. That's why they rat ate all these people.
97% of people on Clubhouse are not anti-Semites.
I don't know if my mom is alive or dead. I don't know if my sister is alive or dead. Not because they don't have internet. Their cell phone towers are down. Homelands are down. Electricity's been out for 3-4 days. And you motherfuckers, you're not even Persian. Like, why don't you guys just shut the fuck up? We don't even want to hear you guys, like, talking about, oh, is it real? Is it real? Is this real?
I'm not talking about Israel right now.
For the moment,
I don't know why we're talking about
you which one of my family members were killed this time.
But why are we talking about Jews? Like, I never mentioned the Jews. I never mentioned the Jews. Like, I don't get, like...
No, he said, is it real? He didn't say Israel. You mentioned it.
Is it real?
He's always got Israel on the mind. He's arranged.
At least people don't have electricity.
Must be hard to sleep at night when he's constantly thinking about it.
Darling, they've been sanctioned.
At
They've been
least
sanctioned for a very long
it's
time.
not Israel sharing the video of the dead people. It's Iran. It's IRGC. The government is sharing these videos to intimidate people. They're sharing the videos of them acting like they're in a fucking war zone, shooting at people. Let me go bring you a link. It's in Farsi. You have to go and have an AI translate it for you. But they are on the state TV. People who are in charge. They're saying we're gonna kill every single one of you guys. They are saying it. You think this is a
that's terrible. What do you?
This is their TV. This has nothing to do with internet. It's not AI. They are sharing this stuff on the.
Do you think this is your first regime change? What are we doing here?
What does that have to do with it?
What does that mean?
Well, it has everything to do with it. I mean, that's
Well, what does it have to do with it?
This is the first time we had an Islamic regime.
That is
yes,
the
it was fucked up. It's gonna be changed. Yes.
So what did Mossadegh believe in? Do you know Mossadegh? What did he believe in? Who is he? Do you know? Do you know who that man is?
Well, that's going back half a century and more.
Right. That's not long. That's not a long time in the grand scheme.
It's a very long time. So what?
Well, you were alive, Zulbi. So
no, I wasn't alive. Azizi.
I'd have been that one.
And I have to ask about whether you're alive even right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm just about surviving.
About what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the regime change?
Norm, I've got to push back. I think you definitely were alive while he was in power.
Yeah, he was. No, he was.
I don't think so.
It's not about what you.
Hold on a second. Let me see when he was actually deposed. You were alive while he was alive. I assume he was in power until.
Well,
listen, regardless.
Okay. Yeah. You missed him by a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I thought more than a little bit.
Well,
But Aziz, I don't expect him to be able to do math any more than I expect him to be able to think and speak English.
Well, like I'm just saying, I just don't see. I don't think Iran's going to prosper. Let's just put it that way at this point.
Why not?
It's not part of the play. It's not part
why isn't Iran going to prosper?
Because it's not about the prosperity of Iran.
Well, that's not the answer to what it's about. Why won't it prosper?
Because it's not about.
It was deposed in 53. I don't think Norm's quite that old.
Yeah, it's about the destabilization.
Doesn't it bother you that you don't really have any thoughts, Aziz?
No, I'm telling you, it's about the destabilization, not the stabilization.
Well, wait, why won't it prosper?
Because it's not supposed to.
If who? I'm going to prosper.
I'm going to say something wild. Can we maybe table this idiot and let Sarah tell us about what's going on with her family?
Yeah, let's talk to somebody who actually has thoughts.
Yeah, let's talk to
It's not going to
Sarah.
prosper. It's destable.
What's going on? What are you hearing?
I don't know. I'm not joking with you. No one is talking to anyone. No one knows what's going on. I have I have a family member that he lives in Turkey. Like he lives between Tehran and Turkey, and I know he's in Turkey because he was posting stories and stuff, right? So I messaged him yesterday, asked him if he has heard. It's like a family, like a distant family, but we grew up all together. We were like very close friends. So I messaged him. I said, "Have you heard of anyone? Like, have you talked to anyone?" I don't know a single person, Jeff. I do not know a single person who has talked to anybody. And so he told me his daughter was able to call him last night for like a minute or something, and she told him that people are still out, nothing has happened, nothing has happened, meaning people haven't taken over the city or anything, and it's really bad. That's the only thing she was able to tell him, and they lost connection. For some.
Yeah, I heard from one friend whose family is in Iran, and they were able to get her, I think, last night, briefly.
For like an hour, some people had their cell phone, they could call from Iran to outside directly, for just like 30 minutes or an hour.
So some people are getting, brief calls out occasionally.
I'm sorry, Professor. I'm sorry.
With God's help, your family will be safe. Iran will also be free. So, inshallah.
We don't know what's going on, but they've killed a lot of people, so it's going to be really, really. Everyone's going to know someone who died. They killed more people than in 2 days. This is just for the January 10 and 11. On January 10 and 11, they have killed more people than Iran lost in a whole first year of Iran-Iraq war. This is, and there are reports. There are like Iran International says minimum 12,000. There's like BBC saying 20, 25,000. Like, I mean, the videos. There are some videos. They're like shooting everyone. They're shooting everyone. Aziz, if you scroll up, you'll see the link I put in the chat. The guy says, "Oh, we're gonna come after every single one of you guys," and they say the rioters, but you're not allowed to protest in Iran. If you're protesting right now, at any time, if you're protesting, they call it riot, and they have scheduled to kill a guy today. They're gonna hang the guy for protesting, not rioting, nothing. They don't have guns. People don't have anything. They're shooting people straight up in their face. It's so bad. It's very bad. And majority of the people that they've killed are younger than 30.
I heard they're also going into the hospitals and shooting people too.
They have. So I saw a video. This was so sad. She's broken her head. Her skull is broken, and she can't go to the hospital because they're telling people not to go to hospital. But the only good thing is that I don't know how, but people are helping each other. When I say I don't know how, it's because their phones are not working. They cannot even call each other. I've heard some days people had access for internal calls, like a few hours a day or something, but they purposely disconnect all of that and electricity so people cannot help each other. And then no one's screaming genocide, and this is insane. And then there was a news, article on Facebook, and all they said was that the Iran International News Source says minimum 12,000 people have been killed. And then somebody's like, "Oh, Israel propaganda." Someone else is like, "When it's 60,000, let us know." And then these are the Palestinians. So it's like, if there is a propaganda as these, it's the propaganda that these Islamist countries, they play. And the only reason they say that is because the people of Iran, it's okay for them to die because the government is defending Islam. Even those who claim they're not terrorists, they shut their mouth to support Islamic terrorist, actions. Otherwise, where are these people? 53 Muslim countries, everybody has shut their mouth. Nobody has said anything. Nobody.
Well, they're Shia, so it's like the Pope doesn't speak for the Protestants, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Is this a real guy in the chat? He's a troll, right?
I think he's a fake, personally.
Yeah, he's a fake, yeah. He must be someone else.
52
pretend
friends.
to
You
be
knew
here.
friend. You knew here, big guy. You've been in here, really, with three friends. My guess is you're at least somebody we know, and you're definitely a troll.
It's not an unusual take. I've heard people have that opinion.
He's three friends. He's not fucking.
No, but it's not because of that. It's because the whole vibe, the whole where he speaks.
The PTR picture, all the whole fucking shit.
Yeah, it's clearly. It's just people that try to be like Jews so that they can pretend to be Jews so they can say anything, but they actually are trying to mock it.
Yeah, it's like Jews for suicide, God forbid.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to take your name because he's a cunt.
My cousin. Impatient about Trump doing something.
Yes, I know. This time. I see lots of planes.
Like what kind of planes are they? Because the airspace for commercial
I
planes.
see some military airplanes around the area near Iran. Like really close.
You see a lot of military?
6 military
planes, huh? Yeah, I don't even think this is. Oh wait. Okay, no. But there is a lot less traffic in there today. Right now.
Oh yeah, but there's still military aircraft.
You know what? I don't think any of. No. I don't know about the military. No, there is a flight going from Tehran right now.
I just got off the phone with my cousin right now in Greece, Athens. There's a huge protest going on. He's there.
Where? They were able to call you?
Greece. In Athens.
Greece. Pro-Iran protest?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, the protest outside Iran has been huge. I've never seen anything like this. It's been huge. It's done though. They're gonna be gone.
There was 50,000 people marching in Toronto.
50,000 in LA yesterday.
3 days ago. Yeah, but where's the Greta Thunbergs? Where's the Susan Sarandons? Where's the Mark Ruffalo's? Where's everybody? Where's the outcry? Where's the where for the genocide? Where's the
They didn't get the marching orders, BB, yet. They didn't get any marching orders.
Yeah,
they told not to care yet.
They're waiting.
I hashtag where is Greta? I want to know where is she.
Where's what's his face? Dude, that new one that joined in.
Only some oppressed women